I was the CEO of the ABA. But like David Stern of the NBA, I retired last year. But unlike David Stern, I'm here instead of on a golf course or out by the pool reading. And I certainly didn't expect to be here today. Many of you attended the ABA League meeting last year in Las Vegas. And that was in July of last year. Hi, you all. This is where I'm Memphis. I turned over the keys to the ABA to Ron Tilley and put the league management in Phoenix, Arizona. The meeting last year in July in Las Vegas was a great meeting, and everyone left that meeting with high expectations, including me. Those of you who are here and who played last year know that the expectations that were presented at that meeting were not met. The league was not managed as it should have been managed, and it was not a good year for the ABA. So I congratulate those of you who endured last year, and I am sorry for those that could not endure it and left. Believe me, I had no intention of stepping back in, and only made that decision after seeing the playoff format and what I felt was a major lack of fairness. I upset a few teams with the changes that I made, but the overwhelming consensus was that the league was better for it, and the changes were needed and resulted in a fairer playoff. And I'm truly sorry that I upset a few teams. That will not happen again, ever, in the ABA. Before we get into the meeting, I would like to have each of you stand up and introduce yourselves. We have a record number of new teams this year and have made some very significant changes to the league, changes that will again position the ABA as more than just a game, and bigger, better, and bolder, which is what the sign said outside. I'll give a couple of people a chance to sit down, and then we'll move forward. I think the best way to do it is I'm going to take the mic, and I'm going to start here, and we'll go all the way to the back and then up the front. And if you all would introduce yourselves so you get a feeling for who is here, that would be a great way to start the meeting.
Hi, my name is Zach Taylor, and I'm with the Kalamazoo Pure basketball team in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It is a new team, and we're excited to be here.
Good morning, I'm Amber Duncan. I am also with the Kalamazoo Pure Michigan basketball team.
Good morning, I'm Coach Ralph Presley from the Southwest Warriors out of Atlanta, Georgia. So if many of you guys know me, those are the ones that don't like me, but if you haven't met me yet.
Come on, Ralph. We love you, absolutely. Michael Campbell, BOP TV, Atlanta, Georgia. New TV network premiering in September to over 30 million people worldwide.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher O'Banion. I'm president of WebSource International. I've been working with the Indian Naptown All-Stars, and I've talked to many of you. I do the website and app development for teams. If you are interested in that, I'd love to be able to talk to you. I will be videotaping this event, and we also videotape games, and we can teach you how to videotape your game so you can critique the play that goes on. Christopher O'Banion, WebSource International.
Good morning, Beverly Jenkins with Reliant Group. I'm a business concierge.
Good morning, Brittany Bowden from Kalamazoo Pier.
Good morning, I'm Rico from Kalamazoo Pure. Just a truly blessed to be here today. So, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ronaldo Espinosa. I'm the owner of the local Coyotes.
My name is Barbara Espinosa. I'm also North Carolina Coyote.
Good morning. My name is William Payton, owner of the Atlanta Wildcats from Atlanta, Georgia.
Good morning, I'm Tracy Hightower and Anna Wildcat.
Good morning, I'm Jim Tyree. I'm with Sports Radio America, your new international radio outlet for the ABA.
Hello, I'm Tia Harris. I am the Assistant GM and Director of Finance for Sports Radio America.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brad Jones with Sports Radio America. I'm the Director of Sales.
Good morning, I'm Stephen Patrick, sports journalist for Sports Radio America.
Hi, I'm David Kenyon. I'll be a color analyst on one of the Sports Radio America broadcast teams.
Hi, I'm Dave Williams. I'm with the Lansing Sting.
Hi, I'm Baxter Colburn. I'm one of the hosts of Baxter Show on Sports Radio America, and I'm also part of one of the broadcast teams as well for Sports Radio America. I'm very excited and honored to be here today.
My name is Zach Poppenfuss, and I am the contact specialist for Baxter Grand Sports Show.
I'm Joe Garza. Step forward a little bit. Come here. Just this way. It's probably a little bit too far. There you go.
I'm Joe Garza. I'm from the Texas Red Wolves. I'm the owner.
My name is
Maury, Chicago Fury.
Hi, everybody. I'm Masa. I'm from Team Network.
Metro Detroit.
Good morning, I'm Joe Thomas with the Texas Skyriders, Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Operating Officer, and this is my wife, Vivian Palmer. She is the Chief CEO of the Texas Skyriders.
Jason Patterson, General Manager of Richmond Elite.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Joyce Patterson. I'm the owner of Richmond Elite.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andre Vaughn, the owner of DMV Warriors.
Can I get a round of applause, please?
No.
I'm Greg Brown, owner of the Baltimore Hawks.
How's everyone doing this morning? I'm Brandon Miles, the General Manager of the Baltimore Hawks.
Ron Jenkins, West Michigan Lakehawks owner, along with Harold Whaley.
I am Daniel Dame, here representing the Grand Rapids Rangers from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
My name is Alan Durham.
My name is Alan Durham, Grand Rapids.
My name is Howard Hayes, and I'm the owner of Coast to Coast All Stars.
Where's that?
Detroit.
My name is Marcelina Glover. It's on my back. I'm the owner of, what's our team? The Lions and Hub City Cycling.
Good morning. My name is Travis Nolan, and I'm the owner and also CEO of the Southwest Division Champion Austin Boone.
All right.
Hello, I'm DePaula Ross. I'm the other owner of the Memphis Lions and the Hub City Cyclones.
I'm Jesse Williams. I'm the owner and interim team president of the Central Florida Marvel.
Where's that? Orlando. Sorry.
Disneyland.
I'm Joyce Trimble. I'm also with CFL Marvel. I am co-owner.
Ron Scholes, owner, Jacksonville Giants, Jacksonville, Florida.
Lori Watson with the South Florida Gold, Palm Beach and Broward.
Mike Watson, owner, South Florida Gold.
Morning. Howard Walkowitz, South Florida Gold.
I'm William Manning with the Shirts Kings in Shirts City, Texas. And this is our first year in the ABA. We've been independent prior to that. Honored to be here. Looking forward to hopefully bringing some good things to the league.
Where's Short City?
Short City is about 45 minutes north of San Antonio.
I guess it's my turn, huh? I'm the baby of the bunch. I'm a president of basketball operations with the Shirts Kings. Thank y'all for having us today.
Who's that radio voice?
A great group. Thank you all for coming. I didn't see Wash Stallworth. He was here last night, came from the California Sea Kings. I think he probably overslept, and there'll be a few more coming in today. One of the biggest changes that we made this year, and with so many new teams here, it's sort of strange to be talking about changes. But we are making changes this year because I was not satisfied at all with the way and the direction that the ABA was going. We have a blend of seasoned owners here today and new owners, fairly new owners. And what I decided to do was to create an executive committee. And that executive committee would have the responsibility to make the ABA a better league, to improve the league where it needed improvement, and to come up with new ideas that would move the ABA forward even more than it has. Having had the opportunity to sit back for 9 months and look at the ABA, it gave me an opportunity also to see where there were weaknesses in the ABA and what we could do when I came back in to improve it, and that's what we've done. As you probably know, the ABA is the largest professional sports league in the United States. And when we begin play in November, we're going to have over 80 teams. And as you can see from the makeup of all the people that are here today, we are the most diversified professional sports league in history. 75% of our owners are African American, Hispanics, Asians, and women. And that was done by design. And the makeup of our executive committee illustrates just that. In choosing the executive committee, I picked the people that I felt could provide the input we needed to make the league better. Those that had great experience either in basketball, ABA, or in business. And the combination of those people have made the changes that I'm going to talk about today. The executive committee, many of them are here today. Ron Scholes, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Giants. Michael Dixon, the owner of the Fayetteville Flight in North Carolina. Joyce Patterson, who you just met, from the Richmond Elite. Marsha Blount, the oldest team in the ABA. This will be her 13th or 14th year, from the Jersey Express. Ron Hicks, the owner of the Chicago Steam, the second oldest team, 10 or 11 years in the ABA. Brian Loader from the Bowling Green Bandits. Last year was his first year, but he did a very good job, very creative, and a good communicator. Darrell Middleton of the Colorado Kings. He sits out in Denver and has had very few teams that he could play, so he goes on the road many, many miles and has traveled all over the country to play because of his commitment to the ABA. Ralph Presley, who you just met here, is the owner of the Southwest Warriors and one of the keys to an effective operating Southeast Division. Michael Watson, who you just met, from the South Florida Gold, constantly contributing ideas and input that makes the league better. Marlon Minifee, who wrote me last night and could not come because of an illness, the owner of the Laredo Swarm and part of a fast-growing Texas contingent. And I believe between Michigan and Texas, we have the largest groups of teams here. And then Don Sanchez, many of you know, who's the owner of the Los Angeles Slam. And Don fills games in, but he runs the website. He's on several committees. He's a former LAPD officer with an extensive background in legal matters. And then our own Tom Chichester, who is Vice President, Director of Operations of the ABA. Tom joined the league when I founded it in 1999 and has been with us ever since. And he's responsible for the overall operations of the league, the assignment of the referees, the arbiter system, and many other things. And so he is also on the executive committee. One of the biggest problems that we faced, not only last season, but for years, is the uneven number of games played by ABA teams. The full schedule of an ABA team can be 30 games. But the fact is that very few teams played 30 games. Many teams played between 20 and 30 games. Others played between 10 and 20. The executive committee's goal was to find a way to accommodate all ABA teams so that they could choose the number of games they played, and those choices came sometimes because of a lack of available venue dates. Sometimes it was because of a lack of opponents close by. Sometimes it was because of financial reasons. But whatever the reason was, we wanted a system that worked for all ABA teams so that all ABA teams could be treated equally. And thus we've created a blue conference and a red conference. A conference, the blue conference, will be for a team that plays 20 or more games. The red conference is for a team that plays less than 20 games. And we've left it to every team to have the ability to select the conference in which it will play. All teams in both conferences will adhere to the new set of standards and requirements which we'll be discussing in a few minutes, as well as a new code of conduct that we will be discussing. All teams in both conferences will be a part of their division. Give a couple new people who came in. I hope, are you all following what I'm saying so far?
Yes, sir.
Now, and here's the heart of the matter. And I'm glad I have some division chairmen like Joyce and Ron and Mike and Ralph here. Last season, teams were made eligible for the ABA playoffs that had played as few as 8 regular season games. This obviously did not sit well with teams that had played 18, 20 to 30 games during the season. So when you have, like the Richmond Elite, or the Jacksonville team, or the South Florida Gold, or the Southwest Warriors that are playing 20 to 30 games, and then they wake up the next day, and teams that have played 5, 6, and 7 games are competing for the playoffs, it really did not sit well with them. It didn't sit well with me, which is why I mentioned that I stepped back in March, because I saw a level of unfairness that just was appalling to me, and it was not going to happen again. So the executive committee came up with an excellent solution to a very sticky problem. All blue division teams, 20 or more games, will automatically be eligible for the ABA playoffs. All red division teams, based on the number of games they play, the quality of their operations, meeting ABA standards and requirements, working within the ABA Code of Conduct, will be approved on an individual basis by the Executive Committee. Let me cite an example for you. It is a bear for the Colorado Kings to get enough games because of where they are located in Denver. Although we've added a team in Idaho, added a team in Wyoming, added a team in Colorado Springs. So that excuse might not be as valid as it was in the past. The Executive Committee could give them an exemption to compete in the playoffs. So I will hand it to this 11-person committee to say, we believe this team is worthy, potentially, of having an exemption to compete in the playoffs. When you have a state like Georgia, a state like Texas, a state like Michigan, that has 6, 7, 8, 9 teams, there is really no excuse for not meeting the schedule and not being able to play. Does anybody have any questions thus far? I want to cite an example for you. And these are touchy subjects, but as my executive committee knows, and the new team should know, that I try and have always tried to keep a very high level of transparency, and have always tried to be candid and honest, because you're working hard to operate your teams, and you should be operating with knowledge, not a lack thereof. And a lack of candor last year permeated the ABA and was different from anything that we had seen before. But I want to cite an example for you. Last year and the year before, the Shreveport-Bossier Mavericks won the ABA championship. And they had a very good team and a very good coach and have been in the ABA for several years. In the 2 prior years to that, the Jacksonville Giants won. Last year, the Shreveport Mavericks played 29 games. 25 of them were home games and only 4 games were on the road. Last year, the Mavericks, of the 29 games, 15 of their games were with non-ABA teams and only 14 with ABA teams. Now, under that scenario, it is quite possible that the Shreveport Mavericks would not have been able to compete for the ABA championship last year. But if that same scenario happened this year, I would throw it to the executive committee to make the decision whether that team would be eligible to play in the ABA championships. Following me thus far? Okay. All right, no question. Good. The next thing that was put in front of the executive committee was to create a set of standards and requirements for both conferences. Too often, teams did not have the personnel necessary to operate a professional basketball game. Too often, there was no PA announcer. There was no national anthem. There were no locker rooms for the players. No security for the players' possessions, their wallets and uniforms. And for the coaches and for the officials. There were improper lines on the court. So there were people that were shooting from high school lines and not the proper lines. There were no shot clocks. There was poor hospitality. When a team gets on the road, whether it's an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours, they have to be treated with dignity and respect. These players are not paid a great deal of money, so they are not cattle, and we are a very player-oriented league. So we have to care for the players, and we have to make sure that when they get to the gym, that have time for a shoot-around, that a meal is served to the visiting team, either before or after the game, generally after the game, and that they are cared for. And so when it doesn't happen, it is a reflection on the league, and it makes us look less than the ABA should be. So these are the things that really concerned a lot of the teams. And quite frankly, it upset so many teams that they and I felt it was time to take a step forward and upgrade the overall operations of the league. And thus came the new ABA standards and requirements created by the executive committee, and the same with the code of conduct. And so what I'd like to do now is Tom, you have a copy with you of the standards requirements? I'd like to invite Tom up, and then let's just say Michael Watson is on the executive committee, Ralph is on the executive committee, and let's just do those two and Tom, and go over the standards and requirements for the blue committee, the blue conference, and the red conference, and if necessary, the reasons behind it. So we'll do that now, and then we'll move on. So Tom, I'll turn this over to you.
Very good, Joe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, come on up. And Michael, come on up. You two, you're close to it.
Good morning to everybody. If I didn't say hello to everybody, but first I want to say for everybody that's here, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, your lives, to be here. This is a very important meeting, critical, I think. And to see faces and put names to faces, for me, is a nice thing, okay? So we're going to be talking a lot during the day. I'm not going to waste a lot of time now, but I just want to say thank you for being here and welcome. We'll go back to this later. That's my title number. The key things on here, I just want to make sure you get my phone number and emails. Before we go into the codes and standards, I got just 2 slides here I want to go over. But I want to share this with you because right there, on top of there, it can be done. 15,000 people, Alltel Arena, ABA championship game. There it is. Right? So anybody in here says it can't be done, Take a look at this picture. Imprint it into your mind. There it is. We'll come back to that too. Joe talked about the size of this league. It's a monster. And if we don't have everybody on the same channels and communicating, guess what? Chaos. Not going to happen. Everybody's going to communicate. Excuse me if there's not all the names and all the places up there, but you get an idea. That's fine print underneath that's in construction. Where'd Joe go? Joe, leave? Oh, there he is. Okay. This leads me to this. Joe was retired last year. Okay? Now, I've been with Joe since day one, as he mentioned. And we thought we were heading down a good road. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And, you know, I told Joe last night, I said, Joe, I wanted to call you 500 times last year. Never did. A couple issues. But Joe kept his finger on the pulse. Followed it. And I mentioned a few things that were going on in the playoff. He even got in deeper. And when he saw what he saw, he did the right thing. If it weren't for Joe Newman's effort, I don't think we'd be here today. This award was given to Joe last year by the league at the end of the season. And it's a lifetime achievement award. I know you can't quite see this, okay? But and this picture really doesn't do the justice of the nice award. It was on a marble plaque. But the words are the important thing. Sports history, ABA, Joe Newman. Okay? American Basketball Association, Chief Operating, Co-Founder, Chief Executive Officer. Okay? But the key words on this, and I want to make sure I get it, so I'll give my glasses. You should know it by heart. Your leadership has transformed vision into reality and inspired others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. That's Joe Newman. Joe, thank you. Okay, now as Ron Scholl would say, we roll up our sleeves. How's that saying go? You hurt, we work? Something like that?
You hurt, we fight.
You hurt, we fight. Well, we're in a roll up our sleeves type of mode this season, and everybody, we need everybody's efforts. But again, Joe, glad you're back in the saddle here for a while. How's it feel? Oh, terrific. All right. This is later, okay? Just excuse me as we go through that correspondence. We'll go over that. We'll go over that. We'll go over that. There. That. Okay. Meat of some things which we're up here for. American Basketball Association standards, code of conduct, maintaining good standing with the ABA. We're zoomed in on this year, folks. Big time. Gotta be. For your own protection. For your own growth. For the development of the ABA. Very pivotal year here. There's little things. And when these things we go over, they're basically going to be under 3 categories. Okay? Schedules. Put them out there, play them. No exceptions. Easy. Professionalism. Follow the standards that we're providing here with the things that are staying under that title is professionalism. And 3, new this year, we'll be going over it, that could transform, if you do these 3 things, basics of these 3 things, it could transform this league skyrocket overnight. Will be live stats. First time in 15-year history that the ABA is looking at the opportunity here to have live stats. So, for example, when you click onto the ABA website, you're going to see a picture, ABA leading scorer. You're going to see the standings, east, west, north, south, 5-0, 3-2, 4-2. leading rebounder, leading assist person, leading scorer, live. And all you have to do is make sure that you follow that stat and send it in. Easy. 3 easy things. Schedules, professionalism, stats. Transform this league amazingly overnight. And yourselves as team owners will skyrocket in your investments with sponsorships, so on and so forth. Okay. As Joe mentioned, the American Basketball Association is the largest professional sports league in the U.S. It provides opportunities for more players and coaches to participate at professional level than any other league. The ABA exists for all the right reasons. To extend careers, to provide exciting professional basketball at affordable prices, to play for the true spirit of competition, and to serve as role models in your communities. Okay, to be a member of the ABA, all the teams must adhere to the basic set of rules and core values known as ABA standards and requirements, an ABA code of conduct. In our coined phrase, the ABA is more than a game. Okay, ABA standards and requirements. Blue Conference. And as Joe mentioned here, and if there's anything as we go through, we're under the works and constructions, and there'll be finals. And Jim, by the way, these things will, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, these things will be forwarded later on.
I'm going to pass them out.
You're going to pass them out? Got it, okay.
No need to take notes.
All right. Let's just go over them here one at a time, and then we'll go through them all, then we'll come back and questions and things, but just, Joe's going to pass them out, so we're just going to review, get them in our heads here. Must play a minimum of 20 games, 10 home, 10 away. That's a minimum. All games will be played with ABA basketballs, ABA rules, officiated by ABA officials. Why not? We're the ABA, right? And, we do things the ABA way. All teams in Blue Conference will be eligible for ABA playoffs. Once schedules have been sent into the league to my office and posted on the Arbiter, which we do, and I'll go over that later. You guys don't have that ability to post. The schedule must be adhered to. As I mentioned, schedules. Adhere to it. The only changes will be whether or if both teams agree to a change. Now, that's a very fine line right there. And we aren't taking, 2 days before my venue double booked. No reason for that. Nothing. No reason. So that line right there, please know that just because 2 teams, the executive committee will review those types of things that come forward. And they have to be very valid. Last moment, 3 days or less, changes by teams, weather related, is not acceptable. Okay, unless there's a major snowstorm or something like that. But you got to